Hey everybody, welcome back to Extended Timeline World War II. So let's have a quick look at the armies of the world, the top 15 ones anyway. It does look like most of them are gaining back some of their manpower at this point. After the last episode, there were quite a few that just had 0. And it looks like a few are at least starting to rebuild there. So let's have a look at what wars are going on at this point. We've got the French-Madagascan War for Independence. This is a bunch of French colonies are fighting against the French, and they have some backup from Spain and Brazil. We have the Argentinian-Chilean Nationalist War between Argentina and Chile, obviously. Swedish-Danish Nationalist War, Peruvian-Chilean Nationalist War, the Italian-British Imperialist War, and the American-Dutch Imperialist War. This is kind of going nowhere. For the most part, I think the Americans wanted to take parts of Indonesia, but it just hasn't really happened so far. I did notice in the last episode, but noticed when I loaded it up now, that Sweden had taken over quite a large chunk from Norway here. So, it does look like the French colonists will win this war here sometime soon. I would guess that we might get some countries spawning from all of this. Might get Morocco and what else would we have here? Tunisia. So let's have a look at, there was quite a bit going on in South America as well. It looks like Peru has taken over quite a bit. Some from Colombia, maybe a little bit of Ecuador. Might be another country. Look at Panama there. That's doing pretty good as well. And I think that are we missing a Guatemala? Because I'm pretty sure that the Mexicans had declared war on them at some point earlier. So I think we're missing a Guatemala there. Okay, and we've got this Japanese Korea here, and the Chinese are rebuilding their army at this point. Let's have a quick look at China and how they are. They are a socialist state, so apparently no longer the Republic of China. We've got the chairman. Okay. Let's check on governments in Japan. Let's check a few. We still have the emperor here. We've got... Okay, Stalin is gone. They've got a new guy in here. Must have died off or something. The Führer is still Adolf Hitler. I was actually looking at something here. What did this say? Yeah, he has a balanced personality. I thought that was amusing. Okay. King George is still... Should probably bump up the speed a little bit here. We were going at 1. Henry DuPont. How about over here? Ismet Inonu in Turkey. Let's look at the US. And actually, we've got Roosevelt is still alive, and we're almost into... Yeah, I think... When did he die? I'm trying to remember, but I thought it was maybe July of 45, so he's living past his... when he should have bit the bullet there. So apparently the enemies and rivals of the Americans there had to have a bit of lag there, and those disappeared. So China and the Soviet Union, I guess that makes sense. So, oh yes, I was going to have a look and click around and look at some diplomacy of different countries. So Germany, rivals with the British and the Soviet Union. Improving relations here with a few. Supporting the independence of the Belgian Congo. Allied with Norway, Romania, Brazil, and China. Interesting that they be allied with the Chinese here. How about, speaking of the Chinese, let me make sure we... Okay, there we go. So here's the Japanese. Actually got a spinner there for a moment from the performance here. I think just clicking on these countries might be really slowing us down here. That is unfortunate. We've got a lot of alliances here, or are they... They're actually at war with the... Well, the rivals, of course, with the USA and Japan. At war with British Sudan. That's a little far for them, isn't it? Okay, yeah. Well, let me switch back to the political map. That seemed to be working a little bit better. I'm surprised that this war here, it looks like quite a few wars did finish off finally here, but we do have this British Sudanese War for Independence. It's a bunch of British colonies are now fighting off against the... That's why the Chinese were in there. Apparently the Chinese were allied with the British. So who else do we have here? Belgium, Mexico, Argentina. Okay. Got a Soviet reconquest in Latvia. This Swedish-Danish war is going pretty well, apparently, for the Swedes. So as I mentioned in the first episode, I said maybe the Swedish will, you know, they'll get pretty large here. Gotta watch out for them, always in these Paradox games. But yeah, I was a little surprised that this, what was it, the Mozambique, oh no, French-Madagascan War for Independence, that this has not pieced out yet. I think it went down, actually. I thought it was in the 80s, and now it's in the 70s. What have they not captured here? Just a couple provinces. And we've got the Spanish fighting the Belgians now. I don't think that they're at war with them, are they? It must be this, yeah, this British-Sudanese War for Independence. Yeah, Spain is helping them, so Belgium... That's probably what's screwing up this Madagascan War for Independence here. Was that suddenly, as soon as that fired off, then Spain were no longer interested in helping out them and were going after the large stacks here, so... Is this actually the Americans are finally showing up in Denmark? Look at that! Not Denmark. Netherlands. Sorry. Yeah, they're finally going to take out some of that army. That should help swing this war back in their favor, I would suspect. So, of course, they don't have any leader on this stack here. It's not very smart. Not smart at all. Let's just quickly look at Salvadoran Honduras. Honduran nationalist war is going to go in the side of El Salvador, it looks like. But yeah, I'm mostly interested in this US-Danish war at this point. Just gonna watch that. It does pause this when I go in there, yep, just double checking. I'm gonna bump up the speed to 3. See how that works for us. Just might be a little bit too much as soon as I do that. We've got a little slowdown here, but what have we got here? We've got a... Is that Spanish or is that... No, French revolutionaries, okay. American stack. They really need a leader on this. None of these have leaders. Who's... Okay, British Sudan is occupying parts of Belgium. I'm not sure why they'd be doing that. I mean, I know they're in the wars there, but I wouldn't... I'm surprised to see the British Sudan way up here, and shouldn't they be back in actually Sudan? Yeah, here are the... Looks like that war with the Italians and the British did end at some point, and the British did, as I mentioned, I think it was in the last episode I was going to say that we're going to get some British Somaliland, and looks like that happened, so... There's a 3-star general with the Italian Somaliland. This French Madagascan War for Independence is starting to swing the other way here. What was this? Okay, that was the British Sudanese. Okay, we've got a Yugoslavian-Greek war here. Interesting. Do the Yugoslavians... Yes, there's their army. Only 22k, and the Greeks have 17k, but a 2-star general. I would think that would probably... I'd rather have the 17k with a 2-star general than the 22k with a 1-star. Okay, we actually have a... Okay, Franklin Roosevelt is leading some armies on the invasion of the Netherlands at this point. Is that all the Americans have? Is for Franklin Roosevelt to lead their armies? Just out of curiosity, what have we got here? So we've got Douglas MacArthur. Okay, and that's who they should have. I bet he wants to... Roosevelt's not letting them command troops in the Netherlands because he'd probably want to nuke the place. Yeah, what I actually wanted to look at what was going on over here in Indonesia. Not much. Did they ever recapture... Okay, they actually fully have captured the Sula. Or did this war... I think the war just ended. Let's get back to Europe. I might have gone... Okay, well, now we're chugging a little bit here. I think I went the wrong direction. Yeah, they're done with all that warring, I think. So they didn't take any of the actual core of the Netherlands or anything like that. It was just for that one island. Okay. What is this we've got? A little war there. Is that in... I'm not sure where this is actually at. Okay, there. I thought it was probably in India, but it actually confused me a little bit because it said tribal kingdom. So I was thinking there's not any American Indian tribes left, but we certainly have India. What's going on here in Saudi Arabia? They still have these like noble and reactionaries. I think they have all kinds. No, they're all reactionaries at this point. So what else? Other big wars are going on. We still have this Madagascan war for independence. Yugoslavian war. This Yugoslavian war, this was the Yugoslavians declared war on the Greeks, but that's not going very well for them, I'd say. Yeah, I knew that, well, this Yugoslavian army is just like cowering over here in Corfu. If I was them, I'd probably try to... I mean, you don't want to attack the 17k stack, but you might be able to defend against it. What do we got? Okay. For some reason, we've got Archibald Drake now, rather than Roosevelt. With Roosevelt, let's go check on the Americas here for a moment. Just checking to see if maybe we have a new president. Yes, we do have President Sidney Braddock, whoever he is. Have not heard of that name before. Could be a random one. Or some crazy third party or possibly, primary candidate from that era that I don't know. But I'm gonna guess that it's probably just a random name. Heinz Guderian still leading armies in Germany. Who else was here? Fail and Manstein. So surprisingly, the Germans are they're probably just rebuilding their manpower is what I would guess. But they're being pretty you know, not too aggressive so far. Any new countries spawned out? We don't have like an Israel or anything yet. I have seen that happen in another game where Israel as a colony of the British had broken off. Has not happened yet. What else? British Sudanese, yes. We've got that Yugoslavian. Let's just focus on that. Seems like the only war that's actually going someplace at this point. I'm certainly going to swing on the favor of the Greeks. I'll be curious to what they decide to take from this. Who do we have here? And the Italians not doing too much, but they do have a couple pretty good generals. Looks like the French are fighting off the French Equatorial African Army here. And we've got some Moroccan separatists. That's probably good for the Mozambique. If they end up attacking the French anyway. I think the Greeks are almost completely occupied, all of Yugoslavia. We'll see what they end up taking. What else do we have here? I'm not sure why the Spanish never decided that they wanted to siege up here in Maine. These couple provinces there. French revolutionaries are doing absolutely nothing. They can't control everything. Is this war... Somehow that Yugoslavian-Greek imperialist war is not... Okay, they probably... They have to capture this back, that little island there. That's what I'm guessing. And then they'll be able to finish that one off. I'm not sure why they could probably get quite a bit. I'll be curious. Okay, we finally had that Mozambique war did end. What happened here? Did we get anything new? Was this Mauritania here before? Okay, yes, we've got a few countries coming out. We've got Mali, we've got Niger, we've got Cameroon, we've got Guinea. So I think that's coming from that. Yeah, I think so. Anything else? Doesn't appear. So it looks like the Spanish got a little bit of the French too. Yeah, all of these new countries are allied with the Spanish, because the Spanish were helping them. Okay. Did this Yugoslavian war probably... Nope, it still has not ended. I thought possibly that I was... Okay, we've got an American and Japanese imperialist war that just fired off. Let's head on over to Japan. I would think that this should be pretty one-sided, assuming that the Americans can get across the ocean and figure that whole deal out. It took them a little while on that Danish war, because I mean they're just sitting here with MacArthur in port over here in San Jose. I figured that was San Jose, but I wanted to double check. And we've got, who do we have? Okay, we don't have any. Yeah, we have this Archibald Drake is basically stuck. It needs to go out over here, but he's probably not enough transports there or something, so looks like the French are taking back these French revolutionary areas that were there forever. It's the longest time the French were completely occupied there. Nothing much they could do. Alright, well, it does look like we're out of time for this episode. I hope you enjoyed this one, and please consider hitting the like button if you did, as it really helps out the channel. So I'll see you guys next time.